I'm Scott, I'm Theo's dad.
I'm Theo.
I'm Jean, I'm Theo's mom.
So Theo was born with what's called spina bifida. It's essentially a failure of the spinal column, the vertebrae, to close completely around the spinal cord and protect it while the baby's growing and developing in the mother's body. Depending on where that stops determines the level of the disability. So the higher up, the higher the paralysis is, and the lower down, the lower the paralysis is.
I found out about Theo's spina bifida in a routine ultrasound, but I knew the moment the ultrasound tech made an excuse to leave the room. Theo was our third child. He was a very young doctor, and he essentially said that Theo had spina bifida, that he had hydrocephalus, and he said, and you have little time to terminate the pregnancy. And I'm looking at my husband going, this can't be real. I was told at that appointment, if you decide to carry the baby, we can no longer care for you, and you cannot deliver the baby in the local hospital. It was just unbelievable to me that this was a choice. And it never was for my husband and I. We felt that Theo was sent to us for a reason.
Theo on the first day of life has his back closed, has the myomeningeal, the big balloon, removed, and the skin closed over it. Theo had a ventricular shunt put in. So there's a tube of plastic that goes into the cavity in the center of your brain we all have that's full of fluid to kind of accommodate pressure and motion back and forth and those types of things.
This is what was required for Theo to walk, was something like this. And he had different varieties of this type of bracing. And he was able to walk for quite a while with forearm crutches and bracing. It's pretty much a decision of, okay, we can try this hip surgery that we've been told by a lot of people is probably not going to be successful, but if we don't do it, he definitely won't be able to walk because we can't brace him anymore. So we put poor Theo through this major surgery. He has all kinds of hardware in his hips. He was in a body cast for quite a long period of time. We were actually able to get a tilt-in-space standing device that allowed him to go to school. So he even went to school through this whole period of immobilization, but
I had enough.
Yeah, you decided in third grade that wheels were going to make more sense for him, and that was his decision.
I strive to get into the 90s as much as I can. I've taken AP classes. I've gotten 5s on AP tests, which is the highest you can get. I had a 4.0 at the end of second semester last year. I won the 2017 Massachusetts State Geographic Bee, won the entire state championship, and represented the state of Massachusetts in the national competition for the Geography Bee. It's sponsored by National Geographic, but it's called the National Geographic Bee, and it's a Geography Bee. The summer of 2020, I worked on an online class with the University of Arizona. It was an introduction to the degree I want to strive for, which is Geographic Information Systems. This year I won second all-team academic award for the entire country. Around 7th and 8th grade, I just started making the transition where it's like I just want to play wheelchair sports. Up until recently, I've been doing wheelchair basketball. In my freshman year, I won the first team all-conference for the Southwestern Wheelchair Basketball Junior Conference. One of the starters for my Dallas Junior Wheelchair Basketball team. Recently, I have transitioned to tennis, and I'm really enjoying that, and I like how it's a sport that you're able to play with anyone, even able-bodied. 2 or 3 years ago, I came across this statistic that here in the United States, 63% of kids or pregnancies of spina bifida are terminated. And at that point, that's when I decided to make a poster and participate in the March for Life in Dallas and Washington, D.C. I did volunteer for March for Life. It was a time out, just working for that in Dallas. I've done acing autism. I worked at a food bank in San Francisco area.
and to be able to pursue their goals, their dreams, find their place in the world, and be productive members of society.
Yeah.
I would say one of the most exciting moments was watching the Massachusetts Geography Bee.
As of now, I just want to get into four-year university with geographic information systems. I want to be seen as a great student and be a great student. And I want to graduate at a university with a good path toward a good job.